Getting into day trading has never been easier than it is right now. In the last few years, the tools available to everyday traders has changed a lot. Today, you can get live data from exchanges, access the exact same information that Wall Street uses, and you can even practice with the simulator. So I wanted to make this video today to give you exactly everything you need to start trading today as a complete beginner. I'm going to show you how to find stocks worth trading before anyone else does. I'm going to show you how to tell if a trade is actually worth taking and how to practice so you have full confidence before you even take a real trade and put real money on the line. Oh, and to be clear, nothing in this video is financial advice. Always do your own research before putting any money into anything. Anyways, the first thing you need to do as a new trader is find the stocks worth trading. Because if you're just scrolling social media and you're listening to what people are hyping up, by the time you see a stock blowing up on X or TikTok, I'm telling you now, the move is past. You're going to be buying in probably at the top. What you really need is a live scanner that's pulling all of its data from exchanges like NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange and showing you which stocks are getting momentum right now. The way scanner works is it tracks every stock and it ranks them based on how much they've gained or how much they've lost. So instead of guessing what to trade, you're already looking at a list of stocks that have activity. Normally you'd be paying like 80 to 100 bucks for a scanner like this on the tools that are available out there, which is why I recommend using stocks.news. It includes the scanner plus a bunch of other tools that I'll get into later in the video. Now, let me show you real quick how it works. So here, right when we open up the app, we're gonna go to the bottom here to scanner. And here you can see the scanner itself, gainers and losers. For example, the first one here, Elong Power Holding. We can see that they actually have a $1.64 increase, which is a 45% increase. And it shows a lot of smaller stocks on here as well. We can see CXApp, some technology company, went up in 3 cents, which is a 17% increase. Still a gainer. And as you're scrolling here, you can see how they're ranked by how much of a percent they increase. And similarly on the losers. Super simple, super easy to navigate, and you can actually even sort the stocks with some filters here as well, which is pretty useful. And of course, through here, you can click on the stock and see the overview, like key stats, stock analysis, technical analysis, and Morningstar reports, which is for paid users only. Worth it. Now, having a scanner is one thing, but it's not going to help you much if you're checking it at the wrong times, because the market has specific windows where the best opportunities tend to show up. Pre-market starts at 4 in the morning and runs all the way until market open at 9:30 a.m. And this window matters because the stocks that start building up momentum pre-market often end up being the biggest movers once the regular session opens. The reason for that is pretty straightforward. When a stock starts attracting volume and attention before the bell, that buying pressure tends to carry on over into the open. And if it keeps building, that's when you see those big percentage moves during the day. It doesn't happen every single time, but there's a strong enough tendencies that this is one of the first things experienced day traders usually check in the morning. And it's not just pre-market. During regular market hours, you're watching for stocks that are spiking on news. A company issues a press release through a source like Access Wire or PR Newswire. Earnings come in better than expected, or some unexpected announcement drops. And when that happens, you'll see the stock showing up on the scanner because the price is moving. And you can check on the news to figure out why. Again, let me show you quickly what that looks like inside of stocks.news. So we're back here in the gainers tab of the scanner. Let's look for a larger company that probably actually has some news backing to it. Let's take a look at Kodak, and we'll just click through and click on the stock itself. And yeah, the signal tells us here that there's a 768% increase in common volume, and people are pretty bullish on the stock. And we can even see here in the mentions, about a week ago it had 29 mentions, but on March 12th it had 253 mentions. And the more you really start to click through, the more it really starts to make sense as to why a stock like this might be on the gainers. Then after hours is the other window you should be paying attention to. Once the market closes at 4 p.m., there's an after hours session that runs until 8 p.m. If you see something moving after hours, put it on your radar for the next morning, because a stock that's gaining after the close on Monday has a decent chance of continuing that momentum into Tuesday's pre-market. And if it builds from after hours into the pre-market, into the open, that is the exact kind of setup where stocks can have huge days. So checking the scanner after close gives you a good head start on what could be a mover for the next day. And you can track all of this in stocks.news, as you can see right here. Again, looking through this list, you can see which stocks are moving after close. And stocks.news also shows you how actively it's being updated. You can see up in the top right here, it's updating by the second, live. So you'll never really be caught behind. On top of the scanner, you can also set up a watch list. So you're tracking specific stocks you've got your eye on. Oh, and by the way, scanner also shows up on home screen, showing right here, top gainers. So just go to the top left here, click the 3 lines, go to my watch list, and you can see a list of all the stocks that you have on your watch list. I currently only have Nvidia right now. But for example, let's say we wanted to keep an eye on one of the top movers from today, like Elon. Go to the stock overview and click the little star on the top right. And if we go back here, back to the watch list, you can see it's there. Easy as that. And on top of that, if we go back here, if we click the bell, we can set up stock alerts for whichever stock we want. You can change the alert name, and you can check off whether you want the alerts to be from sentiment spikes or mention spikes. What that means is the news sentiment gets tracked, and if it changes drastically, you'll get alerted for it. And similarly, if a stock has a huge surge in mentions, you'll get alerted. Check, add to alert, done. And obviously, you want to know as soon as something changes on the stock that you're following. So if sentiment starts shifting on one of your watch list stocks, meaning more people are suddenly talking about it on Reddit or X, you can see all of that there. And also get a push notification alerting you to take a look. That way, you're not glued to your screen all day. But if something starts moving on a stock that you've been watching, you're going to know about it right away. Okay, now that you know how to find the stocks worth trading, the next step is figuring out if a trade is even worth taking. Because just because something is going up doesn't mean you should jump in all of a sudden. A lot of traders see a stock spiking and they jump right in. They buy in on emotion without doing any homework. But that's not how you want to go about it. Because the stock might pull back and now all of a sudden you're holding a bunch of shares to a company that you know nothing about with no idea whether you should hold or sell. So the first thing you want to do is look at the company itself. Here's what that looks like inside of the app. So we can tap the search icon right here and you'll see a bunch of stocks right away. There's crypto, Forex, indices, commodities, ETFs, mutual funds, and the news tab. Let's go over here to stocks and let's look up the Palantir stock. Here it is. And here we can see the overview. You can see the ticker here for an hour. You can see the price within the last hour, the last day, the last week, the last month, and the last year. And on the top here, if we scroll on over, we can see SEC filings, we can see their financials, ownership. We can see here 9% of it is owned by Vanguard, 8% by BlackRock, etc., etc. Even competitors, insider trades, dividends, earnings, you name it, everything is here. You can see basically everything you need to know to make an informed decision. You're basically doing the same type of research that you do on something like Yahoo Finance, but you've got it all here in one place instead of clicking through 5 different tabs. There's usually a reason a stock price is moving, and you can do that by checking the news. If you go back here to the home tab and we scroll down, we can see the news scanner, and you can filter these by stars. Let's check out some of the 3-star news ratings. And here, let's check on the top one, and we can see the news here. And this one comes from AccessWire. Press releases usually come from sources like AccessWire and PR Newswire, and those are official announcements directly from companies. And back to the star ratings, Stocks.News actually uses AI to rate every press release from 2 stars to 5 stars, which can help you get a quick read on whether the news is good or bad. But that's just a starting point. You still need to read the actual news to make your own call. And another layer of research that a lot of beginner traders actually skim over is actually looking at what insiders and politicians are doing. When a CEO or board member is buying shares of their own company, that should tell you something. Same with politician trades. These are public records, and tracking where that money is flowing can give you an additional signal to factor into your decisions. Stocks.News tracks both of these, so you can see it all in one place. So if we go into the app, we can go down here to insiders. And here you can see the insiders and the politicians. And if you scroll through these, it shows you all the information. It shows you their names, what companies they're part of, if they bought or sold, how much of it, and how many shares. I mean, just based off the top here, look at how much Prince Matthew, a CEO, is selling. He's selling a ton of shares of Cloudflare. That could most definitely signal that Cloudflare's stock price is about to drop. And again, this type of information is just a starting point. And then there's Morningstar reports. Morningstar is one of the most respected research firms out there, and their reports give you a deep breakdown on a company's fundamentals. These are definitely worth looking at because they go way deeper than what you'd find just checking a stock's price history or reading a press release. And you can actually access these inside of Stocks.News, and you can pull as many of them as you want. Let me show you really quick. So if we go back down here to the homepage and we scroll down to the Morningstar section, and let's actually check out Cloudflare, which we just saw. Their ticker should pull up here, and let's view their research report. So right away, it shows us the economic moat, their valuation, and their fair value. It even gives you quantitative uncertainty, goes between low and extreme. It updates daily and even shows you the financial health of the company. These Morningstar reports give you a good insight on where a company is really at. And again, it's one of the most respected firms. You're not getting BS information. This is real stuff coming from professionals. The whole point of this step is for you to be able to make an informed decision before putting your money into anything. You've found a stock on the scanner, you've looked at why it's moving, you've checked the fundamentals, and now you can decide whether or not the trade makes sense. The whole process takes a few minutes, and it's worth every second because you know what you're getting into before you actually put any money into it. Practice before you risk real money. So at this point, you understand how to find stocks and how to research them. But if you're a beginner, I strongly recommend that before you actually go and start trading, that you practice first. And I don't mean paper trading on a spreadsheet. I mean using an actual live trading simulator that runs on real market data. The way it works is simple. And like everything else I've mentioned in this video, I recommend using stocks.news. So let's go back to the homepage here, and right at the bottom, you can see simulator. It gives you a virtual balance of $100,000 and you can put it into whatever you want. This functions like any other paper trading account. And again, it runs on live market data. You can see all your transactions. You can place new orders on whatever stock you'd like. You can do shorts, limit orders, stop orders. It has everything. It functions just like any other real trading account would. And because it's all running on live market data, this experience is going to be as close as you're going to get to real trading without obviously putting any money on the line. And this is all extremely valuable because you're getting to actually test everything you just learned. So if you found a stock on the scanner, you did your research, and you've got a feeling that that stock is about to run, you can place a virtual trade and track exactly how it plays out. You can even practice setting stop losses here. So when you eventually go live, you already got a good sense on how to protect yourself. And to place any of these trades, it's really straightforward. So here we are at the simulator. So we go to place new order. Let's say we wanted to buy some Apple stock. Find the ticker here, buy, and let's say we wanted to buy 50 shares. Proceed buy order, and just like that, all done. And this is where you're going to be able to start building that emotional muscle that you're going to need, because even though it's virtual money, watching a stock go up 20% and then deciding whether or not you want to hold or sell triggers the same impulses that you'd have when trading with real money. And that's exactly what you want to practice. Taking gains when they're still there and cutting losses before it gets worse. And trust me, it is way better to learn that lesson with fake money than having to learn it the hard way with your rent or your savings. How to not blow up your account. The last part is probably the most important section of this entire video, because the tools, the research, the practice do not matter if you're not going to have the discipline when it actually matters with real money. So rule number 1 is to cut your losses early. When a trade goes against you, your first instinct is going to be to hold on and wait for it to come back. And sometimes it does come back, but more often than not, that stock's going to keep falling. And by the time you finally sell, you've lost way more than you ever needed to. So set a stop loss before you enter any trade. Decide ahead of time how much you're actually willing to lose on a trade and stick to it. There's always going to be another trade tomorrow, so there is no need to get emotionally attached to winning a certain one. Rule number 2 is to always take your profits. This one is just as important as cutting your losses. A lot of new traders will watch a stock go up 10%, 20%, 30%, and they still hold on thinking that it's going to keep going up. And then the stock pulls back and they end up barely even breaking even, or in some cases, a whole lot worse, they end up losing money on a trade that was at one point profitable. When you're up and the trade has already done what you expected it to do, take at least some of your gains, because you can always re-enter if the setup is still there. Rule number 3 is don't chase the hype. If a stock has already run up and everyone on social media is buzzing about it, chances are you're already late. Getting in at the top of a hype cycle is one of the fastest and easiest ways to lose money. If you see something that's already moved a lot, be very, very careful about your entry point. Check whether the momentum is still positive before you're about to jump in. And if you're not sure, skip it. There's going to be plenty more opportunities. And lastly, rule number 4 is to remove all emotion from all of your decisions. And trust me, this is the hardest one. This is what trading really is all about. Emotional trading is, for example, when you're holding on to a losing position because you really believe in a stock, or you impulsively buy because you saw some post about it on X. The best traders treat it like a system. They have rules and they follow those rules, and they don't let how they feel in a moment override their entire plan. Never. And if you're not sure you can handle that yet, well, that's exactly what the simulator is for. And if you want to start putting all of this into practice, download the stocks.news app for free by clicking the first link in the description. You'll get access to the live scanner, the research tools, the simulator, and everything that I walked you through in this video. Again, it'll be the first link below in this video. And if you want a full tutorial on how to copy politicians' trades, watch this video next. I'm out.